want to see if I can sell these Picassos.
Okay.
I'm gonna go look around.
So where did you get these?
They belong to my mom. I'm selling them for her.
It's like something Chum could have drawn.
Yeah, probably could have, but he's not Picasso. Picasso drew it first, and that's why it's worth money.
Picasso's not the first guy to draw a dove.
I come into the pawn shop today to try to sell my 2 Picasso etches. I think they're in pretty good condition. My mother thinks they're worth $1,000. So I don't want to disappoint her, so I'm hoping to get $1,000.
So how did your mom get these?
She was an interior designer, and in the early 70s, an art dealer came to her design firm and sold them to her.
Okay.
I've had them in my house like my whole life, and as a child, I always would look at these 2 pictures and wonder who the heck Picasso's, and I've kind of liked doves ever since I've looked at that.
This one right here is called Poor Robbie. There's a lot of these out there. Some are worth more than others. I don't know exactly what the difference is, but they're pretty common. Even if you don't know anything about art, you've probably heard of Pablo Picasso. He's one of the most famous artists of all time. One of his paintings recently sold for over $100 million. So do you know anything about the picture of the dove?
I don't know anything about these. I grew up kind of hoping that I'd be able to draw better than that.
Not that hard.
I don't got that much love for Picasso, but it just...
Yeah, but it was still Picasso. Picasso made over 50,000 different pieces during his lifetime. Some of them are incredibly valuable. So before I lay out any cash, I'm gonna get these things checked out. I want someone to come down and look at the Poor Robbie.
Okay.
Because I just don't know how to tell the difference between the cheap ones and the expensive ones. And while he's down here, he can tell us about the picture of the dove. Just hang out, I'll get him down here.
All right. I'm really excited about an expert coming in. I'm excited to know what these pieces are worth.
I'm a fine art appraiser with Art Encounter here in Las Vegas, and I specialize in the appraisal of fine art paintings, all manner of two-dimensional works, oils, acrylics, and watercolors.
Well, this is what I called you about. I know the Poor Robbie, some of them are worth like $100, some of them are worth like $800-900.
Right.
I can tell that it's a real etching and everything. I just don't know the difference why some are worth more than others.
Okay.
And this one, I'm not sure.
Picasso was an expert in all media. He did everything from lino cuts to lithographs to etchings. So it's really nice to be able to see one of his works up close. This piece looks like just an open edition lithograph called Blue Dove of Peace. It's a mass-produced piece, so maybe $100, $200.
Okay.
Now, this one was done circa 1950, and it was done in honor of a friend of his, Robert Godet. As Rick said, is called Poor Robbie. Picasso gave up rights to the plate. So what Mr. Godet would do is if he got in financial trouble, he would actually produce a few prints, sell them. If he got in more trouble, he'd produce a few more and sell them. Of the 2,000 graphic works Picasso has done, this may very well be the most mass-produced. The good news is, though, if it was one of the ones done during Picasso's lifetime and on a particular stock of paper, it'll have a lot more value. So what I'd like to do is take a closer look at it, if I may.
Okay, sure.
Okay, great. It's on a real heavy stock paper, an Arches paper, which is indicative of one of the early pressings. Later on, he did it on a much cheaper paper. So the fact that this is an early edition is a very good sign. I've seen comparables of this etching out anywhere between a couple $100 all the way up to about $1,500. But in looking at this piece, I think this would be towards the upper end of that spectrum. In a gallery setting, you'd be looking $800 to $1,500.
Oh, good.
Thanks, Brett.
Hey, Rick,
I appreciate it.
always
man.
a pleasure. Thanks, Corey. Good to see you.
So after hearing all that, what do you want for him?
I'm looking to get 1,000.
1,000 I couldn't do. This one I wouldn't want, it's just too common. And this one right here, I would give you $600 for it.
What about 9?
I don't get gallery prices.
It's a Picasso, so someone's gonna buy it.
It's the most common one on the planet, though.
What about like 750?
I go 6.
650?
Yeah, I go 650. All right.
Thank you.
You want to write her up, son?
Yeah, let's go do some paperwork.
I know that it was worth more than what they offered me, but I settled on 650, and I think that my mom will be happy with that price.